You've probably heard it before. Humans only use 10% of their brain. What if you could use 100% of your brain? Not 10%, not half. All of it. Every single neuron firing at full power all at once. Most people think that's the secret to becoming a genius. Unstoppable, limitless. But if you imagine for a second, tomorrow morning, your brain switched on completely by using 100% brain power, you could move objects without touching them, outthink the smartest AI on Earth, solve in seconds what experts spend years on, learn any language in a day, remember every page of every book you've ever opened. No hesitation, no fear, no limits. Sounds like the next stage of being human, right? But what if I told you that idea is built on one of the biggest myths we've ever been sold? Stick around, because after watching this video, you'll never think about your own mind the same way again. You've heard it before. We only use 10% of our brains. Hollywood turned it into superpowers, ordinary people becoming unstoppable, bending time, reading minds, and outsmarting every computer on the planet. It's tempting to believe, because deep down, most of us want to think there is something hidden inside us, some locked door waiting to open. But here's the problem. That door doesn't exist. You are not using only 10% of your brain, you are using all of it, but not every part at full power at the same time. So how does it actually work? As you watch this, your brain is processing my voice, tracking the screen, regulating your breathing, monitoring your heartbeat, scanning for emotion, and quietly filing away memories you may not even remember forming. All at once, all the time. So if you are already using everything you have, why does it still feel like there is something more inside, waiting? That is the question we are really answering today.
So why does AI feel so much more powerful than us?
A computer can calculate much faster than even a genius human. It can process more data in a second than you could in a lifetime. But speed is not the same as understanding. Your brain does not just process information, it makes sense of it. It can read a face and sense fear before a single word is spoken. It can connect a smell to a memory from 20 years ago. It can imagine a future that has not even happened yet. A machine processes. Your brain experiences. And it does all of this while using roughly the same power as a household light bulb. That is not a weakness. That is one of the most efficient systems ever built. So if your brain is already this efficient, what happens if we push it further? What happens if we try to use it at full potential? Here's the proof that the 10% myth falls apart instantly. If 90% of your brain really did nothing, brain damage would not matter much. But it does. A small injury to a specific region can change how you speak, how you move, how you remember, even who you are. That only happens because every region is already doing something. Your brain does not activate all at once for every task. It activates the right network at the right moment. Speaking uses one system, remembering uses another. Fear triggers a different one entirely. Even while you sleep, your brain stays active, cleaning, sorting, and rebuilding. So the real question was never, what if you used more of your brain? It's this. What if every part of it fired at the exact same time? You're not going to like the answer. Neurons are the tiny messengers of your brain. They pass signals that allow you to think, move, feel, react, and remember. So what if every neuron in your brain fired at the exact same time? You would not become a genius. You would not float. You would not unlock hidden powers. You would not outthink the world. You would most likely collapse. Because intelligence was never about raw activity, it is about control. Your brain works because it is organized. Different regions take turns, communicate in sequence, and never all shout at once. But when that balance breaks and too many neurons fire at the same time, the result is not power. It is overload. The same kind of chaos that can be seen in a seizure-like condition. Thoughts can fragment, the body can lose control, awareness can fade. So the most powerful version of your brain is not a superhuman mind. It is a brain that cannot stop firing. Now, if firing more is not the answer, what about remembering more?
Imagine a gentler version of this fantasy.
What if your memory became unforgettable instead? At first, that sounds incredible. Every lesson, every face, every conversation, locked in forever. Would you take that deal? Before you answer, imagine your worst heartbreak in that same perfect detail. Not as a memory that is faded, but as something happening to you again. Every insult, every failure, every person who walked away. Never softened, never distant. A normal brain protects you by letting time blur the edges of pain. Forgetting is not always weakness. Sometimes, forgetting is mercy. Because if every wound stayed fresh forever, your past would never become the past. It would just keep happening. How does the brain change when sleep disappears for an entire week? Click here to watch the full story.